Elite Gaming.
What's up guys, it's Andrew at EliteGamingHQ, and today I want to talk about why you shouldn't buy a CyberPowerPC, an ibuypower, or a lot of those other fresh off the line pre-built PCs. First, I just want to point out that a lot of times when you buy these PCs, they skimp on a lot of important parts. One of them mainly is a power supply. Power supplies are very important for longevity of your computer and for future upgrades. Now I understand it is tempting that sometimes you may only have $500 for a PC, but my suggestion is get yourself up to $600 and find someone to custom build one or do it yourself. Now I want to bring up a guy that I know on Twitter named Josh. Josh hit me up on Twitter and asked me to build him a computer. He says, this is how much I have, I want to get into PC gaming. Now for me, I build computers for people. Now there is a challenge to that I'll get to in a second, but I'll tell you how it all works. So he tells me what games he wants to play, his budget, and sometimes what kind of parts he wants. It depends on the person, but Josh had games in mind and he wanted to get into PC gaming. And in his case, it was Rainbow Six Siege. He asked me for a monitor suggestion, so I suggested an ultra wide, which I found for pretty cheap, which is an experience that you can't get in console gaming. You're never going to be able to get ultra wide, and also you're not going to be getting above, or even at most of the time, 60 frames per second with a console experience. So I went to work and I built him this PC. And what you get when you buy a PC for me is an out-of-the-box experience. I build everything myself, I put it up on Amazon, and it's out of the box ready to be played. These are for the people that don't want to play around with possibly breaking components, having possible components that don't work, or have any other problems. They want to just get the computer to their house, press the button, and start playing games as soon as they download it. That's the experience I offer. But at most of the time, I can give you a price that's better than CyberPower, along with name brand parts. Because what I do is I buy them in bulk when they're on sale. For instance, for power supplies, most of the time I'll only buy Corsair, Thermaltake, or EVGA. 3 name brands that I trust. Sometimes people ask me for PC repairs, and the power supplies and the motherboards on these PCs are just complete dog shit. The power supplies alone, I sometimes can't even pronounce the names, nor have I never heard of them. And if you compared them just by looking at them or even feeling the weight of these components, you can see the difference. Now generally I put the PC on Amazon, I send you a link so that you can purchase it before anyone else. You buy it and then I ship it out to you. You usually have it within a week. Amazon charges me about $45. I also have to pay shipping, in which Amazon charges you $15, but FedEx will charge me $40, but that's fine. That's for signature required, and it'll be at your house within 7 days of your payment. It takes about 4 days to get across to the United States, and that's the other thing. I can only ship to the United States because other countries have strange rules where they want you to pay a premium on value products coming into the country. Now the challenge for me is I would love to do this as a full-time business, but it takes me a long time to get a return. So say I get a good price on parts, I build your PC, you pay for it, I send it out to you, everything works great. I don't get my investment, your money, until probably 2 weeks after you receive it, which is good because that gives you security. You know, you don't know me, so you want to be sure that the product you're getting is good. Amazon holds your money, you actually pay Amazon, and I get paid, I think it's 2 Saturdays or it's a Saturday after you have your shipment. So that's all great, but PCs are expensive, and I don't have $20,000 in the bank to be building these things all the time. So usually what I do is I only take on 4 projects a month or so, and I build them and then I send them out. One day I hope to do more, because with VR and so much more PC-oriented entertainment and PC games just coming up on the rise, I would like to be able to offer this to a lot more people. I want people to get into PC gaming, and I want to game with them. So I'd like to thank Josh for reaching out to me and buying a computer, and many of the others that have. At first when I started this, it was years and years ago. Probably about 10 years ago. I used to deal with hard drives with jumpers, and everything was just very complicated and very hard. There was so many more things to do. Now I feel it's a little less challenging because a lot of components just work together, and Windows 10 is great for adding in a lot of drivers that people need to pull their systems together. But yeah, I started with just helping out my friends, and then my office needed PCs, so I ended up building 4 or 5 for them, and that just started this whole thing. Where for years, I've been building PCs for people. And as far as you buy a PC off of me, if something breaks, within the first 60 days or so, you could just send it back to me and I'll replace the part, no problem, because I can get a refund on that part. Because usually for me, if I can get it back to them within 90 days, there's no problems. And if your PC broke within a year, then you could just send it to me and I'll just fix it with no repair charge, but you know, of course, you'd have to pay for the part. But the good thing is, of all the PCs I've been selling on Amazon, which I just started on Amazon and eBay about a year ago, I've had no one have any broken parts or any bad parts. I did have one guy to try to swap out his hard drive and messed up his system, and he kept emailing me for help, and I tried to help them best I can, and then eventually I think he sorted it out. But I don't know why he did what he did. He took out his SSD and tried to put in a mass storage 7200 RPM hard drive, which in that case you have an SSD, which is quick boot, and you would just put the hard drive as your second drive. I don't know why you would try to do one for the other when the other one worked great. He even told me it worked great, but he wanted more storage, and I just think he just tried to do his own thing and didn't do his research and ran into it gun-ho and messed the system up. But like I said, he eventually got it going, and then you know, he hasn't talked to me since. So that's the only situation that I had, and I understand that I am selling computers to sometimes people that don't really understand anything about their computers except for they press the button and it turns on. But that's also why I try to do so much into customizing it for the specific needs of the person. You buy a CyberPower and you're kind of taking a gamble on whether it's going to work or not. You tell me, hey, I want to play CSGO and I want 120 frames per second on Ultra and my budget is this, and we'll try to work with it and we'll get you those numbers. That's what I want to do, because computer gaming is the future and is a very great experience, and for all you people that can share it with me, it's just truly awesome. If you maybe want something built, you can try to hit me up on my email, which I'll put here, and we can work something out. I don't know, there is a lot of people that want me to do stuff for them. Maybe I could take a personal loan to get money to build more computers, maybe 8 a month or something. But every single week I have people hit me up about, I'd say average 3 to 5 people, but a lot of times I have to turn people down because they want unreasonable requests. I mean, they come to me and say, hey, I have $500, I want to play this whatever AAA title at 60 frames per second and 1080p or 1440p, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but maybe if you find a clearance item somewhere you might be able to do that, but there's no way I can, not even with the best deals, and it's just not achievable what you're asking. And then the alternative is they go buy a CyberPowerPC, which has a graphics card from years ago, and they're not going to get anything close to the numbers they were hoping, which is a sad thing, because if you could just save up an extra $100 and for like 610, I could build you a computer that will get 4 times the number of the CyberPowerPCs. And granted, it would still be like a budget PC. It's not gonna blow the doors off of the most challenging games to run in the world, but it'll be so much better than that CyberPowerPC that I reviewed for $550 that so many people are buying. It's just insane to me. But yeah, I don't want to ramble too much in this video. I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. And if you have any comments or questions or whatever you have to say, just leave the comments below. And thank you for supporting my channel. My name is Andrew, and this is Elite Gaming HQ. Thanks for watching, guys.